Like I mentioned, I was in the Legion of Mary, so we've gone for it was the Archies. Because these schools, courier used to organize archies from different schools. And so we came for that particular activity, and we would have mass. The archies would take place in the course of mass, and typically we spend the whole day really in prayer. Right? So again, you're praying. And from when I was young, my mama taught us this: pray for your spouse, pray for the person you get back to. And I used to once in a while, and I remember I pray about it. And then you leave it there. You leave it there. You're not very sure. I wasn't really thinking about it that much, but you pray about it. And that would be the case. Anyway, quite interestingly, when mass ended, what would happen after the ceremonies were done, you'd have time to interact, talk to people, and then eventually go back to school. So that day, when we finished, they had come late that day for us. It was there at the front. Our school was at the back. So when mass ended, you're thinking, who am I going to talk to? Who am I going to talk to today? And so when I turned, something just sort of showed me. Very interesting. It was very, very interesting. Of course, it didn't tell me you're going to marry this person, but something just told me, hey, you need to go and talk to this person. Now, interestingly, this were in Form 5 at the time, this was 2011. Now, that means I've been a Mijango for 5 years, then she'd been a member for 5 years, and we now know that we were at many different functions at the same time, but we never met. Right? We had many friends in common, but for some reason, up until this point, we had never met. So I didn't know who she was, I didn't know her name, didn't know nothing. So I see this person, like, okay. I mean, when the voice tells you to go.
You did not harden your heart.
I went to go and speak to her, I went to go say hello. Anyway, just before I got there, another colleague of mine got to her before me. And that's how the story ended at the time. But for some reason, which I can't really explain, I just kept remembering this person. And so 2 years later, in 2013, when we finally met, I knew this is the person I was supposed to have talked to that day, but did. And so I made it a point that day to talk to her. And she told me she did not like me that day. Don't give up. Here we are now, many years. So listen, I will say and pray. God will reveal to you what your vocation is.
Like you have this breakfast this one and the other one and dinner on the other one. Well, first of all, these people are your friends. I think, I don't know how to say it. They drop off organically. Let's say, and again, when we go back, what do you do in dating? Maybe we went and had ice cream together. We used to go to Ham Towers to have ice cream. Okay, that place called? That's up there. It's no longer there. Hot Bite. It's there.
You just haven't gone there in a long time.
So maybe you went out for ice cream, maybe you're having lunch. Maybe you're having lunch with this person. Simultaneous doesn't mean that after I'm done with this one and rather dating all of them doesn't mean that I'm done with this one and then I'm moving on to the very next. It may be happening around the same time, but one, your intention is clear. Yes, the intention is clear that you're getting to know the person. It's not that I'm committed to this person and so it would appear like I'm cheating. So the intention is I'm getting to know this person. So I'm spending time with my friend. I have a friend who I've gone out to lunch with. Maybe next week I have this friend of mine who went out for ice cream. That's why we say that it doesn't go beyond like 3-4 dates, because you know what is happening by that time, yeah? So it can happen around the same time, but the thing is, around that very same time, they actually also drop off organically. When I say drop organically, what we talked about, that you know what, you can't relate to this person, you realize that I am not going to. With this one, let's remain friends. Maybe then there is other two or there is this other one who I am continuing to pursue. So that's ideally how it happens. It's not very mathematical.
Yeah. Also, again, remember, you're dating with the purpose of dating. You want to marry someone. You look for someone to marry, right? So you want to marry one. So what's the point of having 10 of them in the street? No. Make a decision, right? Now remember, they may not even know that you're dating them. They may not even know at the beginning. Of course, when someone, the more you get to know them, and because the idea is probably we've come from Catholic ancestors, we're with friends. But you have an eye on someone. You first observe at a distance. Okay? Then you notice a few things, you keep getting closer. You're already dating. But ideally, it's possible that you may be having your eye on 3 people. So of all my many friends, these 3 are standing out. So I have my eye on you, the 3. Okay? And as you notice this person seems to be standing out more. And then you get to know them better and better. Okay? So yes. Technically, yes, but can you serve 3 masters at the go? Maybe not. So better focus on one person, get to know them. If you realize they're not the case, then the other person. So remember, dating is getting to know the person with the purpose of getting married. Okay? So the date, as we call it, the date is this event or this activity that we go to do with the purpose of getting to know the person better. Okay? Yes. To identify the things you don't like about them and to know if that's good for you. Or not. So even the activities you're going to do matter. Right? So if you're saying that I want to date this person and we are going to go to the club where we are going to just have loud music till morning and I can't actually get to sit down and talk to them, then is that helping your purpose? Okay. If we say our date is we are going to go and just watch a movie, okay, then we are not talking in the movie, we're just watching a movie. Am I getting to know you? Maybe after the movie we can sit down and talk. So there should be a lot of intentionality. I have some friend of mine who actually has a series of questions.
An interview.
It's valid,
Questionnaire.
And so when you go on the date, you ask, so with this, but again, you should know things for you which already are deal breakers. So for example, this person cannot stand alcohol. So one of the things they're going to ask is, what's your take with alcohol? So one of you like, man, me and my daughter were born together. Now that is the end. The date has ended. I've met you revealed what I wanted to know, and we move. And maybe for someone it could be religion. If I come and say, when was the last time you went to mass? Tell me it was Christmas. It's okay. Then the date have made my decision. Okay, so it's supposed to be very intentional. If we go and we spend the whole day talking about Bobby wine and Museveni and whatnot, at the end of the day, I've not got to know you, and therefore it has not been very helpful.
That's a question.
Yeah.
Those were expectations.
Questions.
Questions are only 2, and they stem from one of the points you made. You say that after making all this big circle and then choosing when to take the next step and start the dating, and if things turn out otherwise, then you reverse to being friends like before. That's exactly where my question is. At what point of the friendship do I decide to take the next step? And if things go south, how do I reverse that cascade?
Again, now I know we are going to, this question comes very, it makes more sense when people date the wrong way. Okay? Because it means we are friends. Okay? Then I come to you and I say, you know what, I like you very much. Can we now have a relationship? Okay? Meaning we are not just friends anymore. We are not even dating. We are now courting. Because courtship is different. Okay? With courtship, you can only court one person. Courtship is exclusive. And in courting, now we have made a commitment to each other that we want to get married. Now, if you have begun courting, it becomes very, very difficult if you want to break it. Okay? Because courting is a deeper level of friendship. It means I'm going to share things with you that I don't share with just anybody. It means I'm going to reveal parts of who I am, and I'm going to invest a lot of time, effort in what is more than just a friendship. It's very hard for you to want to reverse that, because there's many things you can't unknow about something. The investment is a lot more. The beautiful thing with dating is we are just friends. I took you out for coffee and we talked. I didn't promise you anything. I didn't claim that you are the only being in my soup. So there's no commitment to it, okay? And that means if it doesn't materialize into anything, no one goes away hurt. So it's very easy for us to remain friends, okay?
Maybe what I should add there is it's very important not to assume. Don't assume, because maybe we have gone out on this one, maybe lunch, ice cream date, whatever. So now this person is my person and we're exclusive. No, it's very important to not assume. So be clear about your intentions, but also don't put people in gunpoint. Don't assume things that are not actually there. Okay, so that this will distract the whole thing, will destroy the whole process. Yeah. So that's why it should be easy to. No, it's not that you're switching from dating to being friends. You're just friends. I just want to know more about you. Okay, with the other intention, because there are also other friends that you have who you get to know more about, but not with the intention of marrying them, but because they're your friends and you're being a good friend. So it is okay to date, and because it doesn't work, we remain friends. Okay, we don't have to date anything. We remain friends. You just need to go above. At that point, you are there. I was trying to elevate you to the next point. By getting to know you better, trying to elevate to the next point, but you didn't hit them up. So it's okay. You remain there. Yeah, I think that will work.
So I think that to prevent all the heartbreak is date well. Okay? Because then once you have made your mind, again that's where the decision element comes in. Once you have made up your mind that yes, this is the person I want to be with for the rest of my life, then that's when I'll come and say, hey,
Then let them know, yeah.
I've gotten to know you for this time, you're such a good friend. I would like us to take this to the next level and to now pursue marriage. Okay? Now at that point we've made a commitment, which is a mutualistic commitment.
And maybe
And again, she could
parents,
even
you're not going to get married the next semester. That doesn't mean that at that point you're going to get. So you're on that journey. It is
a journey.
It is a journey.
Just
You
promoting
get
it.
it.
So-
Just of making it clear.
just to give an example, right? With our own life example, like you said. So we had been friends from 2013. We made a bit of money together. Eventually the company died. Yeah, we didn't have enough money. We thought we were going to, eventually the company died. We remained good friends. We kept doing a lot of things together. So in June, no, May, yes, 31st of May, 2016, I decided to ask her to go on a trip with me and a couple of my friends, right? And by this time around, I've prayed, I've, talked to God again. So I went to go check, are you sure? He told me, all is well. Yeah, so I, we went out, we went for this trip together, and then, that was when I said, now it was past midnight. We said, okay, can we start a journey, for us to, get married one day? I was in third year. She was just finishing her third year. And that's when we then made the decision that we were going to journey towards marriage. Okay? And that's when essentially we've now started a relationship, if you could call it. So from that point on, it became a commitment. Okay? And I have never dated anyone since. Yes. Essentially. Because then, and because of that intentionality, the chances of you, quote unquote, breaking up are much less. God is in there. God is in the thing. And you've actually taken your time to discern. And you've dated them enough to know that, okay, I'm not going to find out things later on that are going to make me want to break up with the person. Okay, so if you did your dating well, you would have seen the things which were going to make you break up and avoid it. Dodge the bullet. Prevention is better than cure. So if you date very well, the chances of you having a successful marriage are very high. So it doesn't mean that now when I say, let's go and get married tomorrow. No, we got married 5 years later. Okay? But now, at the time, we were in an active committed relationship that was building us towards marriage.
Yes. Yeah.
My question was, okay, I had my question, but then there is something you said when you were talking that you told her that you're dating, hoping that one day you'll get married. You don't know that.
I told her.
Then,
I told her that
What's wrong?
we'll get married.
okay.
Very
Then
scared.
then
She was
about
scared.
then my question was about communication. So after you people you decide that you're going to date were you talking every day? Is it a must that you have mass communicating? Because some of us, if your boyfriend doesn't call you today, you
When he doesn't call you, you call him.
yes, you call him and
Why your phone works one way?
let me say you called him, he has not picked, and then he doesn't call back, and then maybe the communication is a bit hanging. And okay, like what's your say about that? Because some people it's a turn off, some people it brings doubts.
So, I see, just to answer that question direct. If, as a friend, the person is not picking your call, okay? When you're still friends, they're not picking your call. What are you doing this into a relationship? I don't know if you get my point. And if that bothers you, when you're just friends, come on. You get my point? That's why the big mistake that we make nowadays is I meet someone today and I'm going to say, this is my girlfriend, this is my boyfriend. I know nothing about them, you know. I don't know any of their good qualities. I don't know any of their bad qualities. But here I am committing myself to them. Then I start discovering things. And I've already committed. Then I'm going to be hurt. But if we are just friends, again, going back to our friendship, we were friends for such a long time. And so we talk and we meet. Okay? So already we were talking regularly long before we actually began to be in a relationship. We would meet and we'd talk, and again, like she mentioned, we'd be doing things here and there, right? Taking part in many different activities. And so already you're noticing the patterns. How does this person communicate? Already you can tell whether they are good communicators or they are not. And yes, you have those friends. Who are your friends who you know are bad communicators? Not so. You know them. You know that he's my friend, yes. But if you want him to come at 2, you tell him the appointment at 11. You know? And he's your friend, and you know it, okay? I mean, you don't have no hard feelings. This is what this guy is. That's who he is. I don't have to expect so much from him. And he's still my friend. Perfectly fine. And like we said, it begins with friendship. Get to know the person as a friend. Because as a friend, they're going to be very honest with you. They will show you their true colors. It is from those friends that you move forward. So already, you should have noticed many of these positive things when there were no expectations, for you to then expect it to grow. Okay, so we were talking almost daily already as just friends. So when we began a committed relationship, that continued. But also being friends, we knew. For example, she knew the days when I was going on call. So she would expect that on this day, because I know this guy is going to be on call, I'm expecting to be texting me the whole day, right? She also knew when I would not be on call, so I wouldn't have excuse. Or she would know, because again, we're talking all the time, we're such good friends. So she knows what's going on in your life and you know what's going on in her hands. So I know when to be worried when she doesn't pick up the phone. I know when, oh, she's probably busy, she'll get back to me. Or I'll talk about it on the next day and I'll be say, hey, I couldn't reach you. What was that? What was that all about? And then she will explain. And if, again, it's a deal breaker, you end it before it. Okay, conclude. Your question?
So another question is, are there some insecurities you had in your dating? Like maybe she had a boy as a best friend, or that close friend was like a boy, then you felt like you didn't like this,
Male best
or like or you had like friends where girls that were kind of getting so tight on you, and how did you deal with that, or did you have it? How can you?
Very good.
So,
Did we get that
okay.
question? It was your turn, so she was just
It's
buying.
not a question. I'm about to continue.
Oh, it's good.
I mean, that's continue.
Yes. Even to disagree.
According to that thing she asked first, it could be a puzzle for you. But I'm a strong believer in this statement of actions speak louder than words. Even when someone is your friend and you go down on a date, have you experienced something that is called mutualization? The amount of energy you're putting into it is the amount of energy they're putting into it. That could also tell you. The moment you feel like it's heavy on this side, the moment you feel like it is you who is doing most of the work, it's not them, it's not it. But if it is coming both, because there has to be love as well, let alone friends, there's always something special going to feel for that special male. And if you're male, there's always something special that's going to feel for that specific female, and to push the whole dating scene. So it has to be mutual possession helps you like decide about the person. Okay. And then I wanted to ask about insecurity. Yes. Well, I don't know about insecurities, but I think I could get I could answer in line with some of the examples you gave. So he's let's say he's more of an outgoing person than I am. So he has lots of friends. Like he had lots of friends at campus. Let me use that time at campus. He had lots of friends. He did everything in the university. Meanwhile, there's a medical student. He did everything. He went out, he was in touch, he did it all. We keep joking, I don't think there's something that he didn't do at campus. So he had so many people around him, both of course girls and boys, and he's very friendly, so he's very intentional about his friendships. So with the friends that he had, if you are not clear, like we talked about communication, it was very easy for you to say the way he treats this girl and the way he treats the other girl. But the thing that made it easier for us, again, we'd talk about whatever. Maybe I've had something, or again, even before we're dating, like now this is our friend, because like we told you, we technically started dating when I was leaving campus, but we've been friends the whole time. So we'll talk about these things. Be like, hey, I saw this, or maybe I had this. So that goes back to your first question, yes, about communication. That's another thing about communication. Yeah, so we'll talk about it. I don't think I had a male bestie, but well, I was dating at one point during campus. I was dating someone who I think he did progress to say, okay, we broke up. But he knew I would come and tell him about this person.
He was the best.
He was the best.
So he was the best.
We're friends, right?
Anyway, so your question is answered. Yes, next question, time.
So I was doing this time. At what point does the aspect of love come in? If it's all about getting to know someone and all that.
Good.
What is love?
I don't know.
No, I'm not for you. What is love?
Is love a feeling?
No,
Yes.
It's a feeling.
it
because
is
it
not.
can fade.
It is not a feeling.
Okay, what's a feeling?
The feeling is affection, I
What's a
think.
feeling?
Love is a decision. Because again,
Do
you know
affection?
the greatest manifestation of love ever seen?
Yeah.
Yeah. On the
Dying
cross.
on the cross.
That is love. Do you think he was having butterflies when he was on the cross? He was dying? No. Love, and now I speak because I have been in love for a very long time.
Okay.
Love is a decision. Love is a choice. Yeah, to love is to will the good of the other. I want your happiness. I want your well-being. That's what it means to love. We've been blessed with children. Our youngest son made 2 months on Wednesday. And even when he wakes you up in the middle of the night because he wants to feed, you love him because you want his. To love, now I speak practically. It doesn't mean that over the last, put it to 10 years next year since we began to actively pursue marriage, that we've not been angry at each other. We have. We've disappointed each other. We've been unhappy sometimes. But even in those unhappy moments, we have still chosen to love each other. That's what love is. It's a choice. It's a decision. I remember seeing a very nice meme, talking about what love looks like. It was a meme of two. You might have seen it. It's two old people sitting at a bus stop. It's raining. You can see from their faces that they're very unhappy with each other, right? but the old man is holding an umbrella over his wife. Okay? And clearly they're annoyed, they're unhappy with each other, but I'm still willing your good, even when I don't feel good. Love is not a feeling, it is a very conscious decision. Okay? So if you just go by, oh, it feels good, you're going to become Judas. Because Judas was happy until things became tight. He said, guys, come out. That's not love. Love is first and foremost a decision. Now, does it mean I'm not trying to downplay the relevance of the good feelings? And the good feelings will be there. Again, because if we have things in common, the things I like and the things that you like, that will naturally draw us together. And as we do the things that we love and we enjoy, we will feel good things. Okay? So that's essential. Of course, I'm not saying that go and look for the person who gets on your nerves the most. That's going to be the person. Maybe not. Okay? Because there are reasons why they get on your nerves. And are those things that you can deal with? If yes, if no, you walk away. So, love is first and foremost a conscious act of the will. It's a decision. And that's why you can love your friends. Even that friend of yours who you know gets to nerves, you can still love them, right? Yeah, but of course, the forms of love as well. But it's a decision. It's not a feeling. Feelings will go away.
So the feelings are there, and it is very important to pay attention to the feelings. But they are complementary. It is very key to not take the feelings as the primary thing. Because when you do that, today you will, that's why you'll be like, I don't feel it anymore. Then today you'll be with another person, then to be with one person, then tomorrow you'll be like, no, now I don't feel it. Now I'm feeling it with this one. Because the feelings will change. That's why you see we are often told our relationship with God also is not on feelings. Because if you're on feelings, you will not pray when you don't feel it. That's why sometimes you pray, you have to pray, even when it doesn't feel like I am convinced. That's what truth is. Because feelings are very fleeting. They're important, they have a place, they have their place, but it is not number one, I should say. And I think maybe you'd say we're not talking so much about the feelings because the feelings, the other important things are not talked about enough, I should say. Like you said, you expected that, oh, now I feel for this person, so that's the person I'm going to. And yet that's the thing that's very fleeting. So if it comes with no foundation, it will just go. So you will be going around campus feelings for everyone.
And the feelings are not grounded in any substance.
So the feelings have to find something concrete.
That's how you can ensure that the kid comes. So love, yes, does it involve that? 100%. But love, to the extent that you're speaking about that commitment and that decision, right? Yeah, to love the person. And that means, yes, again, it goes back to these insecurities, right? There will be many, many guys that will come around and you will feel things for them, even when you're in a committed relationship. So, are you going to go with him and say, man, me, I felt things there? No. The commitment means, yes, even if I do feel something with you, I'm not going to pursue it because I have a commitment with someone else. I say, hey, I'm afraid I can't do that with you. If and just today, I have a commitment with someone, I'll come and tell her, hey, by the way, man, today I was there and I saw this person and then it goes.
Any more questions? Supplements?
You can't also disagree. You can come and say,
I'll put it here.
Yes, we do.
The issue of age, as if it is of the same age, because one time yeah, like, how did you get
Interesting, yeah. She's older than you.
Oh, well, he likes to say that. Anyway, no, she was still asking her question. Amma, you're saying how does it? Because
as opposed to I don't know that a society maybe the man needs to be quite older than you. And sometimes you end up with physical postmates.
So I don't know that question, but well, for the past 6 years, we are the same age, let's say. I'm 2 months older than him. But anyway,
I am the baby.
with the issue of age, it is not
older than him.
because we,
That's
from
where the problem
experience,
comes.
now
If you're
where we
not
are, we know
friends,
people
it
that
becomes an issue. If
been
you're
married longer than us, maybe shorter than us, where the lady is maybe a year or two older, or the guy is 5, 10 years, someone where they're 17 years older. So yes, society, according to society, I think there is that, I don't know, I think it's something that has just been around in the air, that, but of course, and again, maybe you wouldn't know, again, because people don't go around with their ages on their foreheads, you wouldn't know even if people were the same age, or sometimes you wouldn't know. But it's not often a deal breaker. But I would like to say that it's also again specific to different people. Let me first start there. There's someone who would say, I can't date a guy who is less than 5 years older than me. You get this? Now I'm coming from that point of where people may have different, let me call them preferences. But it shouldn't be something, our thought is it shouldn't be something that prevents you from pursuing a relationship with this person. It's not number one. If maybe as a result of their age they are immature and or as a result of their age they're doing things that are deal breakers for you, then that's another thing. But it's not, well, I don't know. Someone can help me out, but we haven't really
I
found.
think age in and of itself is not an issue. I think it goes back down to, can you be this person's friend? So for example, if someone is 20 years older than you, what are the chances you're going to have a good friendship with this person?
A real friendship.
A real friendship, because it's very likely that this person, the things they're interested in, you're not interested in. For them, they want to
Has a
go
lot
and
of
listen to
issues around him.
Karaoke.
He's not.
Go and listen to rap
His
music.
priorities, right?
I think that's why he's weird
For
himself.
you, you're not even started working.
His principles and whatnot
What
just
are the
know
chances
he's.
you're going to actually have a very fruitful friendship with this person? Okay? So I think the key thing ultimately is
That's not- there are
friendship.
very many
And it's
things
possible
in
that you have
Europe.
friends who are older than you or younger than you. Perfect. Okay? So really discern. Take your time to discern. Age shouldn't be the one thing that guides you. Of course, yes, if we are to go by a lot of things happened in the past, there was good reason why many times the men were older than the ladies. Okay, and that goes back down if you understand how the cultures were crafted. There was an element of, where back in the day, men are the ones who used to have to work and things of that particular kind. Okay, it was very likely that when you came to study, there would be no women, right? Because women are not going to school, right? So by the time you leave Makerere and you've studied and now you have your job, you go back to the village. You're going to find very young girls who are then going to be able to marry. And again, so you have to understand things have changed. Back in the day, maybe because of practical reasons, only one person can work. Anyway, I can't go down that rabbit hole, but age, even the church does not have any prescription. The church only expects that you should be above the age of 18. Above that, please, if they are your friend, if you have discerned, God has told you that is the one you should marry, the better. Our experience and our advice, marry someone who is around the same age group as you. Why? Because you get to live life together. Okay? It will be very, very unfortunate if, and we've seen this, so you have a situation where you're getting married to someone who's much older. Okay, for you are at the peak. You want to go out, catch up, have fun. For them, they have gotten tired. They did that. They got done with that. Now they want to go home and sleep. So you can't really do life with this person. Okay, so you want someone. You're going to live. Someone said, "As marriage idea is an 80-year. If God blesses you to live up to 100, yeah, then you're most likely going to spend between 6 to 8 years with this person. Okay, so it will be, you don't want to, and I'm not saying people can't die at any time, but don't prepare yourself to be a widow or a widow of their life. Or think about it, another dynamic is coming to play. If you're going to have children, okay, now imagine this person is going to be a grandfather to their children. Okay, can we do things together? You want to live life together. Two are going to become one. So it's helpful if you're about the same age. then you can go out on this journey, together, and you can support each other, yeah, and grow together. So I would recommend marry someone about the same age group as you.